When did that first scene of Senzo and Jason happen? Which year was it?
I don't know. 2009 maybe?
Sure. That is very shortly after, okay, not too short, but shortly after South African same-sex marriage became legal.
Mm-hmm.
So it was certainly a barrier that was being crossed
Yeah.
on television, on entertainment, even in real life, because in real life, we all grew up, rightfully so, with gay, lesbian people in our communities, but they didn't have a platform to be who they are.
Right.
Even though in 1994, it became legal for them to be freely who they are. But when you see this gap between 94 and 2008, 2009, it's a good 16, 15 year gap
Yeah.
before it could be expressed, especially on a medium as big as Generations. The first day you saw that script, what went through your head?
Look, to tell the truth, Mark Graham was great. He was the head writer there at the time. Mark Graham had warned me ahead of time that this is a fully gay character. When you take it on with that knowledge. And are you ready for that? Because you're not gay, but can you play the character?
Sure.
Obviously went through a long, extensive audition program. Got the part, but was still kind of prepped. And they took their time, which I liked. I wasn't just like thrust into that immediately.
Yeah.
You know? The story kind of evolved, which was great because it took people off guard eventually when it was, because it took like 9 months to eventually reveal that Senzo is gay.
Yes, yes.
You know? But I knew, so I'd had time to prepare myself. I had an idea that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
The closer it came, the more I felt like, wait, let's push it a little bit more. Because you're enjoying just like being feted everywhere.
Yeah.
Being recognized for the first time in life. But I was scared of what the fallout might be. You know what I mean? I'd spoken to my parents.
With the audience and parents and all sorts of the audience.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was fear of the unknown.
Sure.
Because, you know, the things I could control, I was fine with.
Yeah.
You know? I told my parents ahead of time, they were like, hey, it's your work. This is what you do. This is what you studied for. So, you know, do it to your best.
Yeah.
You're not gay. The world around you knows you're not gay. So,
Yeah.
like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, sharp. Okay. But the trepidation came from, because you'd heard all sorts of stories about like, you know, Grace's character had been slapped in the street because of what she did to Karabo. You know?
Yes.
People tend to overreact and take what they see on TV really seriously. And my fear was that my character was rooted in being Zulu.
Sure.
From KZN.
Sure.
You know? And we all know how traditional and staunch our Zulu counterparts are about how they're represented.
Especially at that time.
At that time, especially.
Yeah.
They're the first to call in and say, akwenziwa kanjalo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think like there'd been another storyline before the gay thing that there'd been a huge outcry about, you know, just like the Zondo surname and what the people back was Zondo do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, this is going to be interesting. This comes out. But it to tell the truth, it's nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be.
Do you remember how the build-up was? Because you're saying it took 9 months before the revelation came. Like, just did it trigger our memory? Was it like you do things in what would happen in the storyline?
So in the storyline, they would make me go on a date with Sharon, make me close with Grace at the time, and kind of lead it there where she might feel some sort of crush towards this person, and then I just stonewall.
Yes.
There's no reciprocation of this. Just like, Grant. You know? I'm going another direction. And I remember it selfishly feeling like at the time, I wish we could have done more with those storylines and just kind of shade it maybe into bisexuality. Instead of just like straight up homosexuality. But that was my fear speaking. You know? And then when we did kind of build up towards it eventually happening, because then they went through a process of auditioning who the lover is going to be.
Correct.
You know? And they came to the decision that's going to be Zolisa.
Yes.
Who is my friend at the time. We are close. Like, we hang out all the time.
What a life.
So he's the one that actually broke it to me to say, hey, I'm China. Like, I'm coming back to Generations.
Sizoshata.
So that was crazy. That was strange. It was a relief on the one end, because it's great to be doing something that difficult with someone who understands the craft, with someone who understands you as a human being.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
It's not going to come there with their own ideas about what acting should be and how we should do it, and kind of live vicariously in their own head about what you should be doing.
Yes.
And we spoke it out, man. We spoke it out for a while. Had meetings with Mark Graham. Had meetings with the writers. But the day we had to actually shoot, like, that was hard. Because we had to redo this thing. The situation at SABC where you shoot at Henley, but the Generations offices are on Ditton, which is all the way down.
Sure.
Not far away. It's about like a 1-minute drive,
Yeah.
5-minute walk, but they have a link into studio. And they don't generally watch all the time. You know what I mean? Because they're working. But on this day, everyone was on their monitors over there. And while we are in studio, so everyone coming in with notes after every little scene to say, okay, let them try it this way. Let them try it this way. It took us maybe 2 hours to do a scene that normally takes about 15 minutes.
Sure.
Because there was so much back and forth about the right way to treat it.
Sensitivity.
The sensitivities around
for not only just the audience, but the LGBTQI community as well, right? Because there was possible backlash of being saying, you are representing us wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Mark was great with that because it was about finding a balance, We don't want to walk into that walking on eggshells and already kind of apologizing for what we are doing.
Yeah.
But it is an 8:00 family audience.
Sure.
So we can't go too risque.
Yeah.
And that was our saving grace so often up there because, hey, it's a family show.
When the writers would want to take it in.
Exactly.
Like, hey.
Because writers can go crazy.
Yeah.
Writers have imaginations and they want to see this stuff, played out correctly as they had seen it in their vision.
Sure.
And so many times we had to be like, no, let's pull that back a little bit,
Yeah. Was it important for you? Because I'm sure there was a process of fear and then eventually you got comfortable and used to it.
Yeah, no.
Was it important for you that actually I'm doing something that represents the human rights of this country? I must do it so well.
I'll be honest, I didn't put that much pressure on myself.
Yeah.
I didn't think that far.
Yeah.
For me, what was important was that I'm an actor first, right? I pride myself on my craft. I pride myself on my ability to bring to life words from a paper and live the character.
Yeah.
And if this is what the character is, I just need to do what the character is.
Sure.
Anya will come as backlash, that will come as a reaction, but it will come as a reaction to my work, not to Thami.
I get you.
Thami has made a choice to work, yes, and the things that you're seeing portrayed over there are somebody else. I'm literally playing somebody else. You can't fault me for that person, Fault the writers, fault the creators, fault the producers. I am doing a job.
Sure.
And I had to see that through,
How long did the character last?
A while. She's 7 years. 7-8 years before we went on strike.
7 years you were a gay man who's married.
Yeah. Yeah. 7 years.
Bro, that's insane.
Yeah. And I remember speaking to my agent when I first started the character. And she said, great character for you, I know you're going to shoot the lights out with this, but don't be there too long, It's a conveyor belt, and for the craft and for everything you want to do, you want to be in movies, you want to do more stage, you want to, And I was like, 2 years max.
Yeah.
2 years max,
2 became 3, became 4.
I get my debit order.
Now your car is fancier.
You understand? Like, life is improving directions, and you're just like, well, 1 more year, let's see. Because it's a rolling 1-year contract.
Sure.
So every year you get to review.
Yes.
By the 3rd or 4th year, I was like, I'm family here, I know the crew, I know the cast, I'm comfortable, and that's actually what I miss the most. Like when I think back to Generations, is the crew members that we left. That were family,
They became brothers and sisters.
Absolutely. You see each other every day. You get sick of each other. You love each other all over again.
You argue.
So much together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. An interesting era. We then, shortly after that era, after the strike, we see you on Vilakazi. Tell me about that character. Now you are an evil man who's trying to be king, but he's not worthy.
It's actually my favorite character ever.
I can imagine.
Ever.
I can imagine. I recently rewatched the show.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to actually.
It's beautiful, man. You will laugh because of the production quality of that time.
Yeah.
But you did so well.
Yeah. It's something that, you know, when I look back at, we didn't realize what we were doing and what we were creating, because you often just go into jobs as just another job. But I remember we sat down with Shona, because I didn't really audition for it. Shona had an idea of who he wanted.
Okay.
Sat me down and was like, I want you and Anga to play these two brothers. And there was a series called Tyrant at the time. I think it was HBO or someone like that. But it was two brothers, the sons of Saddam Hussein, and just how crazy and melodramatic their lives were.
Correct.
And he said to me, watch that. And I'd watched it already. And I was like, actually, let me just rewatch, you know. But watch Uday, who is the more evil brother. That's who you are going to be. And understanding that evil doesn't come just out of a choice of being evil. It's the selfishness of your choices.
Sure.
That makes you inherently evil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I brought that into the show, which was easy to do with Vatiswa. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Easy to do in the context of Zandile Msutwana and them and Anga. And I had so many people that I'd worked with before. So it was easy to just assimilate and
integrate.
And integrate and find a niche that works for all of us. And the difficulty at the time, because yes, but I'd been doing Zulu for so long
on TV
and prepping Zulu and trying to be as Zulu as possible and not get the backlash from people who are going to say, but this guy is not authentically Zulu.
Yes.
That my tongue had been trained almost, and my thought processes, because of being around so long, and my girlfriend at the time was Zulu.
Yeah.
So people talk Zulu, you know.
Work talk Zulu.
Pillow
talk Zulu.
So it was a huge adjustment to kind of retrain the tongue. And I cringe sometimes when I look back and listen to like some of the dialogue I had to go through, because I'm like, I can hear the differences of what it's supposed to sound like, but you know, it was for us, I had to put in.
For us who are Zulu and from other cultures, we didn't know the difference. We thought, oh, it's Xhosa Lesi.
Right.
This is how they speak in kingdoms and royalty.
Because I'm looking at Shaka Ilembe right now, and I'm hearing the outrage from some corners about Ulemogang, that role, which I understand from a purely linguistic perspective. But there's so much more that colors the story that I'm like, I do understand the choices that were made in putting him in that character. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's a hard one for us as South Africans, because sometimes you also have to ask yourself the question, as someone that's of that culture, am I the only target market?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that this show is supposed to be made for?
Yeah.
So,
because it's a commercial entity at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And there's so many other factors
to
consider. But you know, Ikaz is one of those that will live on in the memory for so long, because I, number one, was able to cast myself in completely new light. Because Senzo was a nice guy. You know, Senzo was someone that mothers love. Senzo was someone that, you know, when mothers meet me in public, are like, yo, what a waste, Mtanam. Like, I've got a beautiful daughter. Unje. You know? And to then go on the flip side of the coin and be just a little bit evil. You know, yes, still prodded by the mother, and pushed in that direction. But to play that was, you know, it was a sort of an unshackling of sorts, of just like, I'm so much more than just this. You know?
If you say it was your favorite role, then why was somebody else recast for season 2?
Oh man, it's the nature of our business. You think a business negotiation is just a negotiation, but then people take it personally.
Okay.
We didn't negotiate until the day of first shoot about what the new rate is going to be for season 2, you know? And I did the right thing. I went on set and I was like, okay, I don't have a contract. I don't know what I am being paid for this going forward. But before I shoot, I'm here. Can I have a conversation with somebody, you know? To their defense, they said they'd spoken to my agent. Agent wasn't happy with the fee, but they never communicated this with me.
Okay.
So it was that broken telephone of he said, she said, okay, but I'm here now. So what are we doing? But it was a negotiation over money that I wasn't happy with.
Yeah.
Based on the conversations we'd had at the beginning of season 1 to say, we don't have much money now. But if we do get
renewed, yeah.
So we'll sort it out then, you know? And I felt like that promise was not being met.
I get you. Which is fair, bro. It's business. You know what I mean? It's business. Yeah.
So it literally was, I'm going to be making less in season 2 than I'm going to be making in season 1 because I have fewer calls because I'm half human, half snake.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm like, what's that rationale?
Correct.
You know what I
mean?
Is there no way to address that? But yeah, we couldn't meet halfway, so I had to do the hard thing and be like, as much as I love it,
I need to stand up for myself.
Business-wise, I can't agree.